David, I know you've been there early, and I know that there's a lot that's expected in terms of people flocking into the airport and so on and so forth. What kind of arrangements are there right now at JKIA?
Indeed, Eric, in the next 3 hours or so, we expect the plane that had the delegation that went to India to collect the remains of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to touch down here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. It's a Kenya Airways plane, registration number KQA203, that will be touching here at around 9:30 a.m. We understand the plane left Mumbai at around 3:53 a.m. and will be touching down here. And already we are seeing a number of activities with regards to the arrival of the remains of Raila Odinga. We've already spotted a number of leaders who are here. But most importantly, the military, as you can see, that is the gun carriage that indeed will be carrying the coffin that has the remains of ODM leader Raila Odinga from here to the Lee Funeral Home and later to the Parliament, where the body will be lying in state. Indeed, you can see the preparations are already underway. Remember, yesterday, President William Ruto said that Raila Odinga will be accorded a state funeral. This is no mean occasion. Remember, state funerals have only been accorded to a few individuals in the past, including former presidents, the late Mwai Kibaki, as well as the late Daniel Moi. And in such an occasion, the military takes full control of the event, and everything is done with military precision. And so you can say that is the gun carriage that we have spotted during the burials of former presidents Mwai Kibaki as well as Daniel Arap Moi. On the other hand, are military officers. You can see these are officers from the Kenya Army, of course, are receiving instructions, preparing. On the other end, you can also spot the Kenya Navy, who are preparing and now waiting to receive the body of Raila Odinga. Latif, you know that today is one of those days where there will be, it's said to be jam-packed. Remember, after the body arrives here at around 9:30 a.m., of course, received by President William Ruto, there will be that procession to the Lee Funeral Home, where the body now will be prepared to lie in state from midday up to around 5 p.m. And members of the public will have that opportunity to view the body of Raila Odinga from midday to 5 p.m. for those 5 or 6 hours before the body is returned to the Lee Funeral Home ahead of tomorrow's state funeral, indeed, that will be held at the Nyayo National Stadium. And so these are the final touches. You can spot they're trying to, you say in Kiswahili, ngarisha those tires so that they can be shiny black. And indeed, this just tells you that in a matter of a few hours, Raila Odinga's remains will be arriving here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and the entire final journey now will be starting, especially here in the country, ahead of his interment in Bondo, Siaya on Sunday, where again there will be that burial event. And so, Latif, we have our eyes here. We have our cameras trained here. This is the epicenter, and indeed we will be giving you minute by minute, hour by hour accounts of what will be happening here, especially at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where the remains of Raila Odinga are set to arrive at 9:30 a.m. and received by a delegation of top government leaders that, of course, will be led by President William Ruto. We've already spotted a number of the president's security officers, a number of the president's communication officers who are here from around 5 a.m. Trying to lay the groundwork for the arrival of the president, who will be here to receive that body, and of course will be among, or even the first person to view the body of Raila Odinga as it lies in state in the Parliament buildings from midday. And so, Eric, over to you for now. But we continue to monitor the situation here, and we'll be updating you and our viewer on the latest. Over to you.
Thank you very much for that update. And of course, we'll be coming to you throughout the morning with you and Ngena Kerori, who are at JKIA, just to get the updates of what's happening there. I'd like you to take us through, because we can see that's the gun carriage. And as we remember from the state funeral of former President Mwai Kibaki, the gun carriage was coming from Lee Funeral and going to Parliament and back. And it's soldiers marching and the gun carriage just moving at their pace. Is that what we expect this morning from JKIA all the way to Lee Funeral?
Well, we are not sure. It is quite a distance, about 6 to 10 kilometers. And remember, Raila Odinga's wishes that were that he be buried within 72 hours. And of course, we are seeing some kind of, I wouldn't call it rush, but some kind of urgency to respect the 72-hour wish that Raila Odinga left behind in his will. Indeed, you can also see that the body will only be lying in state today for a few hours. Remember, we saw the bodies of Raila, or rather Daniel Moi, as well as Mwai Kibaki, lie in state in the parliament buildings for 3 days. So you can tell that urgency, indeed, to honor the wishes of the late Raila Odinga. And so we are likely to see a more pacey going on of events, especially now that the body has to go to Lee for preparations, and then later on the body will be going to parliament buildings to lie in state from midday to 5 p.m. And so, Eric, so I cannot quite answer that, but we wait to see. But we won't be surprised if we see a bit of a change from what we saw, especially with the state funerals of both Daniel Arap Moi as well as Mwai Emilio Kibaki. Latif.
Before we let you go, you've spoken briefly about the security preparations happening there. What exactly are they? What does JKIA look like today as opposed to a regular day?
It's quite actually a regular day, but you can spot an increased or a heavy presence of not only police officers, but also these military officers. It's not every other day that you see the KDF in an airport, especially with the numbers that they came with today. But all other operations, we are seeing people arriving, boarding their planes to go to whatever destination they were planning to. It's only this section. This is where we see the international arrivals actually take place. This is a beehive of activity this morning. As you can actually see in the pictures, these are the KDF officers, of course, being assisted by the military police to ensure that everything here is spotless, spick and span, in anticipation of the arrival of the remains of Raila Odinga. So in other sections, everything is just going on normally, but here, as you can see, it's a beehive of activity. And in a few hours, actually, we expect the activities here actually to intensify because we expect not just the president, we also expect other ODM leaders to be here who did not travel to Mumbai, India to collect the remains of Raila Odinga. We also expect supporters of the ODM leader. Remember, this is a man who commanded such a huge following in the country. And in the various elections that he contested for, he garnered millions and millions of votes, not just from his Luo Nyanza backyard, but also from other parts of the country. And that tells you, in the next few hours, a lot of people are going to be here. Of course, it's going to be a difficult task for the police officers to ensure that everything just goes on seamlessly. But we just will be here just to monitor the situation, indeed, and to update you on the latest from the Jomo Kenyatta International Activity. So it's just as it is right now, and we continue to monitor this situation.